Welcome to our debate section. Your goal is to listen carefully, think critically, and share your opinion.
You know, Elizabeth, sometimes I just sit back and think about how wild it is that we can just hop on a plane and be on a completely different continent in a matter of hours. It's truly a marvel of modern life, isn't it?
Absolutely, John. And it's not just the ease of travel, it's the sheer number of people doing it. I mean, millions, literally millions of people every single year are packing their bags, heading out to explore new cultures, soak in history, or just unwind in nature. It's an incredible global phenomenon.
It really is. And when you look at it from an economic perspective, tourism isn't just some leisurely pursuit. It's one of the most vital industries on the planet. Think about all the jobs it creates, from the flight attendants and hotel staff to the tour guides and the local artisans selling souvenirs. It's a massive engine for local economies.
Oh, totally. I remember being in a small village in Thailand, and almost everyone I met, from the person running the guest house to the woman selling amazing street food, directly relied on tourism. Their livelihoods were completely intertwined with visitors coming through. It's truly transformative for so many communities.
Exactly. It's not just about the big chains either. It's those smaller, family-run businesses that really benefit. And beyond the financial aspect, there's the cultural exchange, which I think is just as important. When people travel, they're not just seeing sights. They're learning about different traditions, different ways of life. It broadens horizons, you know?
It absolutely does. I've learnt so much just by experiencing daily life in another country, like how different cultures approach food, family, even just the concept of time. It really does promote cultural understanding, breaking down barriers one shared meal or historical site visit at a time. It makes the world feel smaller, in a good way.
Definitely. I think that's one of the biggest untold benefits, the empathy that comes from seeing the world through someone else's eyes, even for a brief holiday. But, and there's always a but, right? As much as we love to travel, and as important as it is, tourism also comes with some pretty significant downsides.
Oh, a huge but. I've seen it firsthand in places like Venice or even some of the more popular national parks. The sheer volume of people can be overwhelming. You go expecting this serene, beautiful experience, and instead, you're elbow to elbow with thousands of other tourists. It just changes the whole vibe.
Overcrowding is a massive issue, and it's not just about comfort, it's about the environmental impact. Think about the waste generated, the increased carbon emissions from all that travel, the strain on local resources like water and energy. Popular destinations are essentially being loved to death.
Love to death, that's a perfect way to put it. I mean, I've seen beaches in some formerly pristine areas that are now just absolutely littered with plastic and trash because the infrastructure can't keep up with the number of visitors. And historical sites too. Too many footsteps can literally erode ancient stone.
It's heartbreaking, really. We're talking about places that have stood for centuries, and now they're at risk because of modern tourism. Machu Picchu, for instance, has had to implement strict visitor limits to try and preserve it. Or think about the impact on wildlife in sensitive ecosystems when too many people are tramping through or getting too close.
And it's not just the physical environment. Sometimes local cultures can be negatively impacted too. When a place becomes too tourist-centric, some traditions or authentic experiences can become commodified, losing their true meaning, just performed for the camera or for quick cash.
That's a really good point. It turns culture into a performance, rather than a living, breathing part of a community. So, we're at this crossroads, right? We want to enjoy the world, we want the economic benefits, but we also can't ignore these negative consequences. And that's where this idea of sustainable tourism really comes into play.
Exactly. It's not about stopping travel altogether, it's about traveling smarter. Sustainable tourism to me means being mindful, being respectful. It's about recognizing that we're temporary guests and making sure our visit doesn't leave a lasting negative footprint.
It's about finding that balance. So, practically speaking, what does that look like for the average traveler? Because I think a lot of people hear sustainable tourism and think it sounds complicated or expensive.
It really doesn't have to be. One of the simplest things is just reducing waste. Think about how much single-use plastic we go through on a trip. Water bottles, coffee cups, packaging. Bringing a reusable water bottle, a tote bag, maybe even a travel cutlery set can make a huge difference. It sounds small, but multiplied by millions of travelers, it adds up.
That's so true. I always try to do that now. And then there's transport. We often default to taxis or rental cars, but opting for public transport, walking, or cycling whenever possible not only reduces emissions but also gives you a more authentic local experience.
Definitely, and my personal favorite, and I think one of the most impactful things we can do, is supporting local businesses. Instead of going to the big international hotel chain or the fast food place you recognize, try the local guest house, eat at the family-run restaurant, buy handicrafts directly from the artisan. That money stays in the community.
That's crucial, because when you support those local businesses, you're not just buying a meal or a souvenir, you're directly contributing to someone's livelihood, to their family, to their community's well-being. It's a much more direct and ethical way to spend your travel budget.
Precisely. And it also often means you get a more authentic experience. You're not getting a homogenized version of the culture, you're getting the real deal. Plus, you're probably getting better food, let's be honest.
No argument there. Another aspect of sustainable tourism is respecting local customs and traditions. A little research before you go can make a big difference. Understanding dress codes for religious sites, appropriate behavior, even just basic greetings. It shows respect and avoids accidental offense.
Oh, that's huge. Just a simple hello or thank you in the local language can completely change an interaction. It shows you're making an effort, that you see them as people, not just part of the backdrop for your holiday photos. It fosters a much more positive exchange.
And I think it's also about being mindful of our consumption. If you're in a desert region, maybe don't take super long showers. If you're somewhere with limited resources, try to be conscious of that. It's just common sense, but when you're on holiday, it's easy to forget.
Right, it's about being a conscious consumer even when you're away from home. And it's not just about what we as individual tourists do, it's also about encouraging the industry to be more sustainable. Choosing tour operators or accommodations that visibly commit to eco-friendly practices or community support sends a message.
Absolutely. Our choices as consumers have power. If demand shifts towards more responsible options, the supply will eventually follow. It's a long game, but it's important to start somewhere. I mean, we love to travel, but we want our kids and grandkids to be able to experience these amazing places too, right?
Exactly. It's about protecting these wonders for future generations. Because honestly, if we don't, we're not just losing beautiful landscapes or ancient sites, we're losing opportunities for cultural connection, for economic growth that truly benefits local people, and for broadening our own understanding of the world.
It really is a powerful industry, with incredible potential for good, but also significant risks. And it all boils down to how we manage it, both as individuals and as a global community. If we travel responsibly, we can enjoy the world and help protect it at the same time.
Couldn't agree more, John. So next time you're planning a trip, just keep these thoughts in mind. A little bit of mindfulness can go a very long way in making your travels and the world a better place. Thanks for joining us today, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. And safe, sustainable travels to all of you out there. We'll catch you next time.